Hey everybody, how y'all doing? I'm standing on the corner of Cole Street, and it's been years since I stood here. I want to give you guys a tour of the block I grew up on. Obviously it's changed a lot, so I'm going to flip the camera around. And here's Quadrarolas. This was a bar, restaurant, right at the corner of the block when I grew up, and was known for crab cakes, or what we used to call them, devil crabs. So I guess it's crab cakes with a lot of filler, but it was kind of a spot for locals. As you can see, it's abandoned, and it has been abandoned for quite a while. This is the 400 block of Cole Street, right here across the street in this other corner. This is where I learned to play guitar. This was my guitar instructor. Obviously, take a look here. This it looks abandoned. This was Dick Bindi, the guitar instructor's studio. Okay, so here we are looking down. Most of this block had Italians living on it. A lot of Italian families. I believe this house, my friend Chaz lived here. He passed away not long ago. Looks like this house is abandoned. I'm not sure about this house. This was an Italian family here that owned the pizzeria. This was one of the nicer houses on the block. Another Italian family. I'm not sure. It looks abandoned as well. I remember the older gentleman that lived here had a really cool wood shop out back where this swimming pool is. I'm right about the center of the block. I'm struggling here. One of these was a bar, another bar. So we can see that we came from the corner where there was Quadrarolas, and now we're right here in the center of the block, and this was a small bar. As they say about the Cole region, there's bars and churches on every corner. This right here was what we used to call the White Store. Not sure why they called it the White Store. Maybe because it was painted white. The owner, I believe, was from Poland. He had a very strong accent. When I was little, I thought he was German. But it didn't look like this then. The windows were larger. You could look in. They sold all types of penny candies. This is interesting. There's a photograph here. Huh. We're getting really close to my house. This was my next door neighbor's house, another Italian family. They had two children that were older than me. I thought it was really cool because, you know, growing up and you're an elementary or middle school student, you have two high school students living next door to you, and it's like, you know, it's really cool living next door to two high school kids that are pretty popular. I believe this house is abandoned, and here we are. This is the house I grew up in, 426. Here's the front porch. Same mailbox. Oh wow, this is strange. This is a new front door, which wasn't here before. It looks like it's in good shape. This is the old door is sitting here behind. I remember as a kid when my father put this bow window in. Oh wow. Looks like someone purchased it from the last time I was here. It had signs on it that it wasn't fit for human habitation. Under this carpet there is a entrance that takes you down into the basement. And I guess you can't really see in, but looks like the carpets were pulled up and some hardwood floors were put in. And an older couple lived here next door to me. Looks like this house is being fixed up a little bit. This one was always in bad shape growing up, so someone must have purchased this and been working on it slowly. Looks like a lot of these homes are left abandoned. And we're getting towards the end of the block. And this actually was a dry cleaner and a tailor. And this was a storefront right here. And this is where he lived. And as we turn, look right across the street. This right here on the corner was another relative of mine, and they lived in this building, but they also had a TV repair shop in the basement. And again, I think it's abandoned, and this doesn't make sense. These plants have been in this window for years, and they look like they're still alive. Somewhat. I guess it's crazy. It makes no sense. So that's the block I grew up on. Let's walk back up on this other side. And you can see just the disrepair on so many of these buildings. Most of them are vacant. This used to be a porch that came down. This is one of my friends lived here. This porch came down. We have what's called a high side of the street and a low side of the street. All the names and faces are gone. These are all people that, of course, were in the neighborhood. And coming up the other side of the street, you can see the sidewalk. Quite different over the past 30 years. It seems like no one's really maintained anything for the last 2-3 decades. And this is pretty much one of my really good friends as a child. He lived in this house, also abandoned. He and his older brother were pretty big musical influences for me. Oh wow, there's literally looks like vines growing up on the door on the inside. And then you can see I'm just going to turn around from this house to where my house was, which is right behind that blue van. Well, that's all I got. Thank you.